Hey guys, and welcome to this new video. Many people may know that I just love e-paper displays. And today I want to take a look inside and on the outside of this so-called Phosphor watch, which has an e-ink display, as you can see here. But it has some unknown feature. It should be a segment display. As you can see, these different signs or number parts are just blocks of white or black parts. But if I press the right button, you can see that the upper part changed from this circle to also a number. And I'm still not quite sure how they did it, but today we're gonna find out. This watch is quite old already. I think some posts are from 2010, so it's about 13 years more or less. And a special part of it is that it runs off a CR3022 or 2032, right? And it has no smart capabilities, no Bluetooth, no nothing. But this e-paper display is really impressive and also impressively fast. So if I hold the button to change the time, you can see how nicely it refreshes. And yeah, the lower part as well, if I get it right, like so, which is quite impressive. Let's take a deeper look inside. So here we got the watch. You can see that if I press this button, you can do some settings and browse to a menu where you can also set an alarm. And on the right side, you can just invert the color of the displays or the display. And yeah, it will just change from black to white and white to black. And yeah, let's first take a look inside of the battery compartment. The watch itself also has a beeper as far as I saw. If the the battery compartment is opened, you can see the beeper. And there we also going to start. I have this small package of screwdrivers and such, and hopefully we can open it up. Not with this plastic tool, so let's better get some screwdriver, like so, yeah. So we can get the back off, and here we can see that this should be the piezo speaker, and there's also this insulator. I guess they had some problems with the piezo shorting to the battery in some way, so it wasn't working reliable. We can also see that the main body is basically one piece, so we cannot open it up to the back. By the way, we can see also the battery here. So it looks like we need to open up the front where the glass is glued onto. And I have no problem in destroying this one now, because it has this broken glass anyway. Let's first try it with an X-Acto knife, which could work, but not to my likeness so far. Let's maybe remove the arm bands first, the watch bands. Like so, we have a better compartment. Here we can see a little bit that the glass was coming apart already, so I guess starting at that lower portion will get further in, but still no luck. And I also guess such a suction cup will also not help much here. Let me think about it. Yeah, we will just continue with the X-Acto knife with the danger of it splitting apart. Okay, still no movement, and I can also not feel any real success. Maybe if I press in the back to the case, it pushes the glass to the front, as this is open, as we can see here. And it should, yeah, really be, if we remove the glass, it should then come apart altogether and pop out at the front, since there is no other way to open up the compartment. Oh, feeling. So let's take the crude way then and break a little bit more of this glass. Like so. This is really not the usual way I would open such a thing up, but what can you do? It will be nice to clean that up later. Okay, there we come closer. At least we have a minimal open compartment or space now, where we can pull out more of the innards. I got this watch from a page like Craigslist for around 20 euros the other day, and just love to look into such hardware. And if you follow me on Twitter or X or whatever, you will also find some more of such teardowns from such watches from the past. So you may want to take a look inside of that or into that if such a watch is interesting for you. So looks like we have to really open it up part by part, which is really ugly. Okay, there we go. That looks better. So I'm gonna clean a little bit more from the front. Like so. And now we have at least a fully opened front. But it may look like there is some glue inside, which will prevent a little bit further to pop it out of the front. Let's see. It does not look too easy to get out still. That's some ugly job they did there. Overall, it looks like it is a complete compartment, which is encapsulated in this white frame, in a white plastic frame. So if it decides to come out, it should be one one watch part, body, whatever, like so. Nice, finally. So let's already take a closer look. We can see kind of here that there is a segment of the number, or a ghosting, I would say. And yeah, let's just take a deeper step into it by removing the metal front and just unclipping it. For some reason. Yeah, it already feels very plasticky like. So the e-paper display is not glass, it's just a foil, which is definitely simpler for them as it's round all together, which did not catch my eye before. So let's remove this sticky part here. This is the connection to the PCB in the back, and it looks like the PCB itself is also just a flex PCB. Very interesting design. I mean, they have it quite simple without any RF features or smart features. They could just put it together with one segment controller for the e-paper display and one microcontroller for driving it, and also to keep track of the time, but that will most likely be just a normal microcontroller like in some other watches maybe. Okay, so it gets further. If we now have removed this front bezel, we can get it apart a little bit more and we can see the flex PCB underneath. But as you can see already, these are some blobs on it. That will be interesting to look into as well. So it's quite some long cable you can see here. So we have two flex cables, or these paper cables, which are connecting to the e-paper display itself under this black tape into a flex PCB connector or cable. And based on the amount of connections we can see here, it definitely is a segment display, which was to be expected. But the unknown part is still how they were able to get this other symbol above or at the same region where also the segment display or the segment parts are. So you have now the number here, but if I now will be able to push the button via the screwdriver to bridge it, we should be able to activate it again. Here you can see it. This is again this different symbol than the segment or the 7 segment number. And to find out how this really works, I will now continue to also take apart the display itself. While it's quite sad, I have no other usage for the watch. So I will try to split the display itself into its units, separate units. Maybe that helps already. So we can see here a little bit of the segment wiring, segment driving, and on top of this is this honeycomb from the, or these e-ink honeycomb, and it is generally so that the front, this front foil is charged electrically via a pump, a voltage pump of around 15 volts. And the lower part, so where the segment is defined, there is the negative charge of minus 15 volt. And that way these pixels get drawn to the back or pushed to the front. And this honeycomb, this e-ink honeycomb in front of it could be any shape, even now. It's just the defining part, the PCB layout that is chosen on the driving part. So if I now really pull the trigger of getting it apart, we can still see the driven e-ink particles, but we can also remove them back and forth, and we can see that it was a little bit fluidly like, but still hard. But after just being exposed for a few seconds to the air, it will harden and will dry out quite a lot. But to now see the segments itself, if we scrape that away, we can see the flex PCB layout underneath, and that way we can see how they really set the segmented parts. And I will get a bit of towel and alcohol to further remove it. I have this alcohol dispenser and some kitchen paper towel that should make it possible to remove the e-ink fluid quite easily. Okay, interesting already. So here we can now see the segment parts underneath, and also how the magic was really done. So before it was opened, I did not see any corners between the segment numbers or this round design. But as you can see, they really just did split the segment parts to even smaller parts. You can see these little dots. These are the vias going to the traces underneath. So you can really see that they just simply split all the segments up into even smaller parts, so they could drive with one segment layer this double design, which is of course understandable in the end, but it just didn't look that way beforehand. So they did a quite good job. So while this is now broken, it's still quite nice to have this answered. And just to take a closer look into the electronics compartment or the driving circuit, we can see that there's really not that much. Let's maybe unscrew the battery to also take a look at the full PCB. Let's see how good this works. Yeah, that works out. It's really quite interesting how good the techniques were already back, 13 or 15 years. So we should be able to remove the full flex PCB now. And let's just take a few seconds to look at the PCB itself. So we have here the battery connections. The alarm should be the piezo output. We have here these two buttons, display and mode, a few test points. And on the other side we have this will be the E-Paper driving IC, some SSD, Solomon technology. This is the charging pump and also the capacitors to have a stable voltage supply. What's strange is that we have here this LCD2 connector, and this could be the LCD1 connector, so maybe the whole watch is also available as an LCD type and not an E-Paper type, but that's quite strange. Then we have here J4 closed, J5 open. Strange that it is naming it here, but not what it is meant to be or what it will set. But also interesting. We have here also one more reset test point. PCB. Here are again J3 open. But for what? It's strange, but okay. Here we can again see a little bit more of the vias, and on the other side the plates that will drive the segments. Okay. So while this is now quite a mess and I need to remove these glass shatters from the table, it was still quite interesting to look into, while the result is, naturally speaking, just what they should do, just splitting the segments in even smaller segments. But hey, now we know. I hope you liked the video. Make sure to subscribe and watch my other videos, especially that many are about the e-ink or e-paper technology. And see you next time.